I want to thank everyone for coming out tonight to commemorate the 55th year since the Chicano Moratorium of 1970. This is a mass fight of tens of thousands of people across the country, in LA, Chicago, here in Denver, fighting against the unjust war in Vietnam, in which disproportionately Chicanos died in Vietnam. It is estimated roughly 20% of all the deaths of people sent overseas were Chicanos. Shame. And our movement to fight back against our oppression was met with brutal police repression, in which three martyrs were killed that day, on August 29th in 1970, and we honor their lives today. And we also continue the fight for our liberation to this very day, because we still face many of the same issues that we did back then. Our people are still brutalized by the police. Our people are still being taken by La Migra. Shame. We'll say it one more time. Chicano! Power! Chicano! Power! Chicano! Power! Chicano! Power! All right, so we're going to have a few speeches, and then we're going to have some bands play. But I would like to welcome up Dennis from Aurora Unidos CSO. If Dennis can make his way towards the stage.
Hola. I feel so distant. Come closer. It's a song, but I mean it. Closer. I'm Dennis with CSO. Don't have much to say, but I want to share a few comments with you. Really happy to see you all. Thank you for coming. It's we're at the stage, as you know, in this country, the United States of America. We're going through some hard times with fascism, right-wing elements, and so we have a lot of work to do. And again, thank you for being here. I just want to make a few comments. Give me about 3 minutes of your time. I appreciate it. So what we know is that in 1970 was the first Chicano Moratorium, and 30,000 Chicanos marched and demonstrated, protested against the Vietnam War in 1970. And at that time, the Vietnam War was going heavy. The United States, being the good imperialist government that we had back then, went and invaded Vietnam. Let's say that one again. Okay, I like that. Good. But these 30,000 plus demonstrators, they were protesting for a lot of reasons, but one of them is that because at that time the Chicanos made up 7% of the population of the United States. But in terms of those that were killed in combat in Vietnam, 20% were Chicanos.
That's right.
I like it. So their slogan at that first, which I love, the slogan at that first moratorium was, "Our fight is in the barrios, not in Vietnam." Unfortunately, during that same moratorium demonstration, more than 2,000 riot police came, did their usual thing, tear gas, gloves, and dispersed the crowd. And unfortunately, at the end of the day, 4 Chicanos were dead. Shame. Okay, a few comments about Vietnam. First of all, why the hell did we go to Vietnam? Well, I think you know the answer, but I want to say it too. Imperialism.
Yeah, that's right.
We wanted to stop the communist movement in Southeast Asia. So we had to get our troops there. And it was a bloody, unprovoked, unjust war that the Vietnamese suffered because of. And it wasn't enough that the U.S. were responsible, and the military were responsible for the 58,000 U.S. deaths there. They were also responsible, because of Agent Orange, they were responsible for the more than 300,000 U.S. veterans who later in life died because of Agent Orange. And who's responsible for that? We know who. The capitalist governments of this country. Unfortunately, the Vietnamese lost over 2 million of its people, villagers and soldiers, by a war that we started. But so it wasn't enough for the U.S. government to know that 58,000 soldiers, U.S. soldiers, were killed. And apparently it wasn't enough to know that 300,000 plus U.S. Vietnam veterans died because of Agent Orange, but 2 million villagers and Vietnamese soldiers also died, and 400,000 of the Vietnamese later who contracted Agent Orange also died. When you add it all up, it comes close to 3 million people that died because of our U.S. government.
Death to empire!
Okay, but we know today the Trump administration is building a path toward right-wing authoritarianism, fascism. At the same time, the Mexican government, and this is important for us to know, the Mexican government, under the leadership of the first woman president of Mexico, I have 2 daughters and 2 granddaughters, so I can relate. They're building a path toward a humanist democracy. Not without problems, not without obstacles, but that's where they're headed. So I would offer to you to look up the Mexican Solidarity Project.org. They have a weekly bulletin, free if you want it, and find out more what's going on. We need to connect more with organizations, and we need to learn from them, and they need to learn from us. We need to be together. And I'm not even talking about other Latino countries. That's another discussion to us to have. I'm limited in time, so I gotta move this on. By the way, you're probably in the know, but I recently found out that ICE is planning on building 3 more detention centers in Colorado. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Well, you're ahead of me. I just found that out. Scary stuff. One in Walsenburg, one in Ignacio, and one in Hudson over by, I believe, Fort Collins area. We need to get rid of these detention centers, and here they are building more. What does that mean? I think it's real clear what the intention is. We have a lot of work to do, people.
Yeah.
We're in this together.
Right.
So I believe that we need to unite among all of us oppressed elements, and that's not just the national organizations like Chicanos and the black community and indigenous, women, when you look at the women's issue, LGBTQ, labor, we need to unite. We need to come together to unite against this assault on our human dignity and our democracy. To the extent that we even have it. Rosa Luxemburg, a Polish revolutionist, once said, "Those who do not move do not notice their chains." We gotta act together. Okay, I cannot conclude without mentioning the exemplification of the epitome of human cruelty, and I'm talking about Netanyahu. That is beyond comprehension, what he is doing to Palestinian men, women, and children. That hurts. We have to do something about it, and we are, and we need to continue. We need to even grow, as I said earlier, we need to grow our unity and get rid of those elements that support that. And by the way, here you go, one more time. Let's put that into a song. I love that. That's right. Free Palestine. Thank you. His barbarism is beyond comprehension. We must stop together through our unified efforts. We must stop this insanity against humanity. We have a lot of work to do there. Comandante Che Guevara once said, "If you don't love people, there's no point in being a revolutionary." That's wonderful. We need to do that. We need to share this love for humanity, because many out there running this country don't give a rat's ass about humanity. El comandante Che Guevara también nos dijo, "Hasta la victoria siempre." Gracias.